Why am I always so much taller in my chair?
I slumped down, I think. I think that's why. And you're taller than me, I think. Your posture's way better.
It's really not.
No.
But is my torso longer than yours?
Maybe.
What?
I mean, where do you...
I sit way into the back of the chair.
See, I leave some room.
What would it look like if you sat all the way back into the chair?
This is it.
Really?
It's ASK-A-WAI. That's what the title says. That's what you clicked on. That is what we are going to deliver today. I am John Pollock, and he is Wei Carlsberg Ting.
Yeah.
This is one of the many classics in the Wei Ting laundry hamper.
Oh,
that
is
comes
that right?
out every now and then.
I really only have like 5 shirts.
I know that.
Yeah.
You have that, and you're deceptive about it because you tend to always have your hoodie on, so you don't know what shirt's underneath there. You could wear the same shirt every day. You could get away with less than 5.
Could be nothing underneath.
That's
you
true.
Don't know?
That's true.
Yep.
I'm always fixated on the hat.
What are you wearing underneath?
Nothing, Wei. It's just the checkered.
Prove it.
Okay.
Prove it then.
You're
on
getting
camera.
You're getting silly at this point in time. What do you think I am, Chris Jericho? Just wander around without a shirt on in all areas of the public domain? What's going on?
Not a whole lot, man. Roadblock.
Roadblock is on.
Which we're both going.
We're now going.
Learned.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we are now going on Saturday night. Saturday night. Just hopefully there's no barricade or anything to get into Roadblock.
No, I don't think so. Although if they wanted a smart promotional opportunity, they would try to block off a major road in the city to promote this event.
They put a block in front, because there's like one entrance at the Ricoh Coliseum to get in. It's one of those arenas. Yeah. So you could put a block there and you have to find another way into your seat.
Yeah.
But
is it sold out?
I think if it's not sold out, it will be by Saturday night. I think they've sold at least 9,000 tickets, and that's about the capacity for Ricoh. Which this was going back maybe our first time that we did this show. We were asked about ACC versus Ricoh, and if they were running ACC, everyone thinks of it. Oh, it holds like 19 for the Raptors.
Yep.
Wrestling capacity, at least for a Raw or SmackDown taping, it's closer to like 13 or so.
Because of the set.
Because of the set, because of whatever production kills they have. So it's not like it's this crazy amount that you're adding, other than I would imagine it's a significant higher cost to rent the ACC, in particular on a Saturday night where it's going to be a lot busier during hockey and basketball season. So there you go.
I'm excited.
What are you looking forward to on it?
Well, to see Brock Lesnar live, I think, especially at this point, is certainly a privilege. And I think they've done a very good job promoting the Dean Ambrose Triple H match. I almost kind of look forward to that more than Triple H and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
I think they've done a good enough job that I think everyone knows that the WrestleMania card probably isn't changing. But there's the seed of doubt for people that, hey, Ambrose is really... He's definitely benefited from Roman Reigns' absence as being the top babyface on the show each week.
Yeah. I'm also kind of going into it not even necessarily expecting that much to impact the storylines, but I just want to see good wrestling. I want to see good matches.
You will probably get that. They're actually running a house show that same night in Atlantic City, and that show is getting Owens and Styles 30-minute Iron Man match.
So we're not going to get either of those guys at Roadblock.
No, they will not be there at Roadblock, and Sami Zayn is doing Montreal on Friday night, but I don't believe he is on. I actually don't know for a fact if he's on either of the shows. You would think if he's in Montreal, he'll be in some capacity on one of the house shows. Right. And Toronto would make sense. We only know, what, 3 matches that they've announced? So they've got to fill it with other stuff. So maybe he will be on Toronto.
Aren't they doing a League of Nations and New Day?
They're doing League of Nations, right. They've added that match. Yeah. You've got Lesnar and Bray. You've got Ambrose and Hunter. And then you've got the Revival against Enzo and Big Cass. So they've announced 4 matches for the show, but they're going to have to fill it out with more. All right, well, let's get into some questions then.
Yeah.
Perfect for today. What do you both think of Starbucks? That coming from DG Mitchell. And this was not, that was literally the next question on our thread.
I don't know if I have too much of an opinion.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. We should go try Starbucks.
I never actually get Starbucks. It's only because Jason Agnew for Christmas got me a $50 gift card. He's a very generous friend, Jason Agnew. He got me a $50 gift card, so I've been going to Starbucks.
I like Starbucks every now and then. It's not a regular coffee stop
It's a little expensive for me to just get regular coffee.
Starbucks is definitely a gift card place for me. I always get Starbucks gift cards, and that's what I use them for. I can't remember the last time I've ever spent money, actual physical money, at a Starbucks.
These, like, I got a cappuccino. Like, all the fancy drinks are delicious. They're terrible for you, but they're delicious. But if I were to get regular coffee, I actually prefer a Tim Hortons or even a McDonald's coffee to a Starbucks regular Pike place.
Yeah. We got a lot of options in this area.
Yeah.
Including Starbucks.
Coffee snobs around here.
That's true. Okay, so our opinion of Starbucks is, that's about it. Ahmad, our man Ahmad, man who was so kind to send me a birthday wish this week.
Oh, did he?
With a hashtag on his text, no less.
What's the hashtag?
Dark tweets.
Yep.
If you guys could be the WWE's Tim Gunn, which main roster performers look, costuming, facial hair, and gear, facial hair, and in-ring name would you most want to change?
Who's Tim Gunn?
I imagine some fashion personality that assesses people.
So who looks terrible in the WWE?
Okay, who has an awful look?
Well, one of my main complaints for the past year was Braun Strowman's tank top that was way too low, so that his nipples were always popping out. They actually fixed that. Yeah, so somebody listened.
They took your feedback on that one. You know, I wasn't a big fan of Dean Ambrose's look after they broke up the Shield and they kept Reigns in the Riot gear. But now it kind of does fit Ambrose, whereas I feel
the tank top and the jeans.
Yeah, whereas Reigns now I feel the Riot gear is kind of lame with the boots and.
Yeah, I think in hindsight it's, you know, the Shield look was such a cool look.
Yes, it was a great group look. I don't know if it's a great individual look.
And they decided to keep it on the guy that I think they wanted to push the most, you know. Whereas with Rollins and Ambrose, they decided to try to, you know, separate them from this established look. But I think that the fact that they were separated from what was before kind of helped them evolve. Whereas Reigns almost, you know, it almost seems like at this point he's still kind of living off of the success of the Shield.
I will say, for the purposes of being your heel champion, I think Hunter's the leather jacket, the pleated denim look.
Yeah.
I don't think it works.
The serious, the wrestler.
I think that's all awful for him. I think he should be in a suit, or he's in his trunks to wrestle.
It's too dated. Yeah.
It's dated, and it's also, it feels like when he puts that on, it's like Batman putting on his costume, and he can't just help but act like cool Triple H.
For me, if I had to make another choice, it would definitely, somebody that definitely stands out is, and this might be intentional, Chris Jericho, the man we just spoke about. The jacket.
What, his actual wrestling gear, or what his normal attire?
A bit of everything. That light bright jacket, I guess as a heel it works now, but the jacket without a shirt underneath, and even his hair, I think it looks kind of stupid. Sorry.
All right. Well, there you go.
That's the Tim Gunn.
The Tim Gunn of professional wrestling. Wei Ting. Josh from Oshawa. Have there been any shows you have been watching and have had spoiled on you? How did you react, or did it not matter to you? I don't know if he means wrestling or non-wrestling.
He means probably any show.
Any shows
that you were well invested in, and then you had somebody spoil.
Yeah, I've said before, when it comes to wrestling, I mean, a lot of taped shows, I know what I'm expecting. That's never affected me in any way.
How about non-wrestling?
Non-wrestling?
Movies?
I'm trying to think. Yeah, like television shows, I don't. I'm still, put it this way, if I hear something and it's good, I'm still gonna watch it. If I had the intent to watch it to begin with, just knowing what happens isn't a big issue.
I'm pretty sure I knew the ending of Breaking Bad, but I don't think it.
Oh, I definitely knew the.
I don't think it stopped me from enjoying it.
I started Breaking Bad knowing the finish of the show, and well, the conclusion. Yeah. And I'm almost done The Sopranos, and I started that knowing how things end, and I love both shows.
Sometimes I like knowing that the ending ending is a good ending, or at least that the ending is satisfying, because otherwise I'm hesitant to spend that much time, you know, into a series.
Yeah.
So I don't think we react that poorly to spoilers.
Yeah, the spoiler police too are just getting out of control. It's like, relax.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. Next up, what are your thoughts on the Crash TV philosophy, and do you think it could work or revive the WWE product today if done the right way? Crash TV, for those that are maybe not familiar with the term, was what came out of your 99 to 2001 period, where the idea was we had to be doing so much in every segment to not allow the viewer to ever want to flip the channel and go anywhere. It had to be short attention span based, and that also led to the philosophy that no one's going to sit down and watch a wrestling match for any prolonged period of time on television. So that idea, to me, I will say, it's such a misread on the current audience. I think so often people look at these crutches from what worked then will somehow magically work now and eliminate context and growth among audiences. And I would not want to see going back to where we get a million angles a show, 2-minute matches. I think there's a happy medium.
Yeah, so what do you think, you know, I guess wrestling could learn from that time, and what kind of tactics could they take from that time, but, you know, not too much? Do you think the wrestling product is too slow right now, for instance, Raw?
Well, those are two different things to me, Raw and the wrestling industry. I would say as a whole, most wrestling shows that I watch are pretty well paced. I think SmackDown's a very well paced show. I think NXT is a tremendously paced show. Raw it's this completely different product than almost anything you watch because of its sheer length, that no one is going to deny that there is too much on Monday night. And your argument is, are we watching the perfect use of a 3-hour show right now? Probably not. This is a show.
Is there such a thing?
That's a great question. I don't know if you can do a consistently strong 3-hour show every single week. But I'll tell you this, I don't want to see a 3-hour show every Monday where my head is spinning and I see 10 million angles, the majority of which do not stick with me at the end. I would much rather start strong, end strong, some good wrestling. I think they could very much benefit from more promo time, giving guys chances to get their characters across in this whole time period and not so much rely on just matches to fill time for matches' sake. I mean, bad stuff is going to be bad stuff, whether it's talking or it's matches or it's irrelevant people with irrelevant matches. And you're going to get a lot of that. There is a ton of filler given the nature of how Raw is structured. But I watch a show like NXT and I'm never looking down at my watch and wondering when this is over. And that is not a traditional 1-hour wrestling show. It's like 58 minutes, pretty well commercial free that you're watching. So that's much closer to a 90-minute show than anything if you were to actually structure it with commercial time.
Could you watch 3 episodes of NXT in a row?
That would definitely, that would be 3 actual hours as well, too.
Yeah.
So that'd be longer than Raw in its current form.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think 3 hours of anything, there's going to be that certain limit for anybody with any product. I think 2 hours is kind of most people's limit for their weekly television. Let's end with this from Derek. John, at what age did you realize that you had a love and appreciation for puns? And Wai, how do you no-sell John's puns when he drops them out of nowhere? Like an RKO. It cracks Derek up every time.
When did you realize you had a love and appreciation for puns? I want to know this. When did you discover this gift?
August 14th, 2000.
Do you take influence from like anybody in your family? Like, is your father a very pun master?
My dad is by no means, I don't think he has ever used a pun in his life.
Like, was there a certain TV show that you watched growing up or a radio host that you just, I don't know?
Wait, if there's anyone I'll blame, it's you and how I just try and simply say the thing that's going to make you shake your head. That's really my primary influence.
Well, as for how, you know, this man says I no-sell John's puns. Oftentimes, I don't know if I'm really no-selling. It's just, I think they're just delayed reactions. Because, like, they don't really hit me as quick as maybe...
Those are the best ones.
And by that point, I'm not a big laugher anyway. So at the most, I'll just like chuckle. And other times, by the time it reaches my brain, I'll just be like, well, that was funny, but the moment's passed, so I can't really laugh at it anymore.
All right, that's a perfect way to end this week's show. But what would you like to discuss? What is coming up?
Tell us what's coming up on the Law on Sunday.
Well, on the Law Sunday night, it's myself and Jason Agnew this Sunday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Time on TSN, 1050 Toronto, 1410 in Vancouver, and online. We're gonna have Courtney Rush, aka Rosemary from TNA on the show, and Mick Foley on the program. So 2 big guests. Plus, we are going to be running through the Roadblock event from Toronto, and we'll get Wai's thoughts on the show Monday night on Review-a-Wai, so you can catch all of that. And we've also got all of our regular shows up. We have Review-a-Wai from this week, chatting the 2 episodes of Raw coming out of WrestleMania 12 in 1996. A new edition of What's Next is up as Jason and Braden Harrington run through the show-long match involving Samoa Joe and Sami Zayn in a 2 out of 3 falls match, so they have that review. And these are the tapings that Braden attended live in Orlando over Royal Rumble weekend, so you will have the live perspective of Braden for that match and for the next 3 weeks of television going into the NXT TakeOver special.
Awesome. And on Review-a-Wai this week.
I just stated.
Oh, did you? Whoops, I should pay more attention.
Are you looking at next week or what this?
I meant next week.
Oh, next week we are starting our look at WrestleMania 23 from 2007. So our review of next week's show will be the Go Home Raw from Chicago that year. It was March 26th, 2007, if you can track down that episode of Raw that we shall review going into WrestleMania 23. And I will say, Wai, there is so much about this WrestleMania that we can discuss. It's really interesting.
It really is perfect timing. So,
it's the Donald Trump year.
I know.
Donald Trump.
Is that a meme thing?
Oh.
I missed out.
Go search it.
Okay.
It's a hashtag as well.
Sure.
Okay, that wraps it up for ASK-A-WAI. He's Wai Ting. I'm John Pollock, and we'll speak with you next time. Subscribe to this damn channel.